How is it possible that apps and websites have access to so much of our personal data? Sure, we all know that our browsing history is monitored by certain apps for supposed advertising purposes, but that's just from our geolocation to private conversations, everything seems to be within the reach of data brokers. Even your fingerprints, you heard me right, your fingerprints aren't safe from this one. But if you thought that was a wild breach of privacy, wait till you hear about how they access our facial ID. More on that on the end of the video. Let's begin. Conversation tracking. Imagine you're having a conversation with someone. It could be about anything, like what you had for lunch. Would you feel comfortable knowing that an invisible figure is listening to every word you say? Sounds like something straight up from a horror movie. But what if I told you that it was real? I'm not joking. Smart devices and voice assistants like Alexa, Siri, smartphones, and even TVs record bits and pieces of our personal conversations every single day. And it's done without our permission or acknowledgement. Even scarier though is that we don't even need to be using any of these devices for them to take recordings of us. They are constantly listening, looking out for voice commands and patterns in our environment. It's often taken for quality control to check if our device's sound clarity, quality, and voice recognition measure up to promised standards. Usually, these kind of quality checks are safe and not much to worry about. Many times though, this kind of data is sold to advertisers as a way of making a quick buck. But there's no exact telling to whom your words could be sent to. And there's pretty much no way to know. This is not a 1 in a million thing either. There are countless reports of individuals having their conversations recorded and sent to unknown people through their smart devices. News reports, videos, and so much more is being made to raise awareness about this issue. But it doesn't seem to reach people as much as it should. It goes to show that there's so much more to the data life than our browsing history. Geolocation. As the name suggests, geolocation refers to the geographical location of a person or device. If you have ever come across one of those apps where they ask you if you can grant them access to your location for no apparent reason, then you're not alone. It's estimated that upwards of 58% of all apps ask for your location on your device. But assuming that all of these apps genuinely needed to properly provide a service is not true. In fact, 55% out of the 58 that ask for our location are solely for advertising and tracking. If we give them consent to access it, chances are they will collect, store, and use this data in real time to build a detailed map about our habits, routines, and whereabouts without our knowledge. And we wouldn't have a clue that any of this is going on. Having a conversation and your geolocation stored is bad enough on its own, but unfortunately, there's way more. Facial ID and biometrics. Here's the moment we've all been waiting for. If you have stuck around to the end of this video, you're going to find out how data from our fingerprints and facial ID can be stored and sent to people by our devices. But how do they do it? When do they do it? You see, when we use facial or fingerprint recognition to unlock our devices, some of this data can be stored and collected without our acknowledgement. In certain cases, your phone can use this facial recognition process at random times of the day without your consent. But why? Could this kind of data be taken for a plausible reason? Well, although it's widely known for security and identification purposes, it only seems right that they at least ask our consent before scanning away our faces and fingerprints. What do you think? Put your answers in the comment section below and let me know your thoughts on this issue. Well, that answers it. That's how apps and websites have access to so much of our data. But although we covered a lot, it's worth knowing that what I mentioned here isn't everything. The data life is full of surprises we yet have to explore. If you find this information useful and want to know more, do consider subscribing to the channel and share this video to spread awareness about our digital privacy to your friends and family. Stay tuned for the next video. Bye!